Hello, Scrappy Peeps. Suzanna here today for Elle Studio, and I'm sharing with you this travel layout created using the May kit as well as some of the add-ons. So you can see I've sort of prearranged how this is going to go. I have a bunch of 4x3 photos that is the same size as the pocket cards, and so I am also going to use the 3x4 Polaroid frame here in order to create a frame using the paper stack. So I really wanted to use that paper. I pulled things here that had blue and yellow, and the sun was setting, and so I had in my head that I couldn't use it because it was over water and it was the sunrise. But there's no way I couldn't have flipped the sun and use it as part of the sun setting. But my brain didn't function that way as I was creating, and it's always after the fact that I have these brilliant ideas, and I'm like, oh, well, why didn't I think about that? I'm sure many of you can relate. So I am using the 3x4 frame there, and I want to frame one of my photos, but I am deciding where I want the weight of the frame. Do I want that sort of inch space to be at the top where I have more weight at the top, or at the bottom? And because of where I have it on the layout, I like it at the top. It provides contrast and balance in weight to the Polaroid frame that is at the top there. I do intend on removing the innard, and so you'll see what I mean when I get to removing the innard and how that creates that balance. So one of the nice things that I love about Elle Studio is I can get a lot of pictures on a page because I can create a grid format and use the pocket cards. You can see I've also got 2 of the 4x6 cards there. They serve as journaling spots, as well as just I am using that chevron there as decor. And I could have put that sun piece and cut it as another strip of sort of 6 across by probably 3 is what I've got showing there at the reverse above it to fill that space. But I didn't think I had anything that I could use, so I came up with an alternative. So I'm doing... I use this format a lot, and sometimes I put the photos pretty much at right angles. At other times, I like to put them off a little bit askew and a little bit ski-wampus. It just, to me, it provides a little bit more movement on the page, and because we are in an airplane and we are moving, that was the effect that I wanted and the reason that I tend to do that. I could have run this through my trimmer, but my trimmer is not very reliable as to where it actually cuts, and not necessarily always in a straight line, so I prefer to use my scissors, and what I just do is I butt up the scissor edge to the edge of the page. You can't push, you kind of want to ride along the edge if that's what you're going to do, but also make sure that everything that you're cutting is well adhered, which that was not, which is why I had that pop up on me. So that is the foundation of the page. I've got all of my photos, and now it is time to just embellish it. So you can see I have pulled a lot of the blue, gray, and the various hues of blue elements, and I am going to just use some of the fun phrases from the vacation stickers, as well as bits and pieces from the kit to just embellish these photos. So these photos were taken in April on our way to Arizona. So I live in Richmond, or a Richmond suburb, and so we have to fly. I don't believe we do. I don't know if there are direct flights, to be honest, or not, but we fly we flew on this particular trip via Atlanta, and then Atlanta to Phoenix. And so this was our Atlanta to Phoenix, our long flight. And so we had lots of photos. My husband sat in business class because he travels a lot, and my daughter and I were back in cattle car. And then I think on the way home, for some reason, he did the reverse. I don't know. Whatever. We got to Arizona. We had a great time, and we came home. And this was just the flight. So some of the elements I'm popping up for dimension. I'm trying to get a balance. So you can see that the photos at the top are a little bit lighter than the photos at the bottom. And so I'm trying to get a balance of that black and the contrast that are in those photos by using the darker elements in the embellishments that are available to me. And also by using that, so that white sticker from the vacation stickers that says destination, that also is providing contrast. And so I like how that just provides some balance to the layout there. As far as raised elements go, I do try and put a visual triangle in there, and that, because I don't have anything that's consistent in my visual triangle, the dimension is what I end up using that kind of guides your eye. Although when you have this format that I've used here of all across the top and all across the bottom, there really isn't a need to guide your eye because it's a natural flow. You're going to move from left to right at the top and then from left to right at the bottom, and then probably come back and read the journaling, all of which is in the center. So you can see that I have that Polaroid frame at the top, and that's empty. It could have housed another photo. It could have also housed journaling, but because I have that journaling card in the middle, and then you'll see I stamp another spot for additional journaling, I don't really need it. And I like the white space that just gives your eye a little bit of a break and a breather, rather than having to absorb all of that info to take in one go. It just is sort of a soft spot in life. We all need soft spots, places to lean into, right? So that's kind of a place to lean into in the layout there. So a lot of blues and grays, kind of my variegated theme for this layout, because those are the colors that are in the photo. By not using the orange or the yellow, I had thought of pulling just a shot of yellow into it. I am able to keep the emphasis on the photos, and I really liked the ability to be able to do that to make those particular shots stand out. So I have used all of the stickers and embellishments that I want to use. So now I'm going to go in with some black stamping. I decide that I like the black because, again, that works with the contrast that is already in the photos. So the rest of this video, I think another 3 minutes, is literally just me stamping. Remember with the stamps, when they're new, that you need to prime them, and that's why you'll see me kind of rub it against my arm instead of using my eraser. I don't know where that went to. I just rub it against my arm. And then, so here is where I'm going to stamp some additional journaling. If I needed it, it was there. If not, it's easy to fill that in. You can put dates, locations. I could have put flight numbers in there, all kinds of different options that you have for that. And I knew that I wasn't going to use those pocket cards. So this stamp says right now. Lots of just things that are just fun that emphasize the travel part of the trip. Above that, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which I didn't circle. I'm going to stamp remember this. And I love that they're each in different fonts. So you can use it and have it kind of be sort of subtitles or decor supplements to what you are what the topic of your layout is, which obviously is travel, and all of these stamps are really more travel related. So those stamps that I had just used were from the photograph detail stamps. I am going to go back and off camera use this set that I'm using here, which is the Here We Go stamps, and I am going to stamp smile, vacation photos, and selfie. So the 3 circles, and I'm going to stamp them on white. Again, I wanted something a little more white for the contrast to the black, and so that will provide the perfect contrast to the page. I had a lot of my head in that photo there you can see how I normally work a little bit further away. And so leaning over where my camera was, I had a lot more emphasis on my head like this. Sorry, I tried to cut that out, but you couldn't really see. It didn't make sense. It ruined the flow of the video there. So this, my friends, is the May Elle Studio kit and then add-ons. There was a great Instagram hop last weekend. So be sure to check out the, if you start at Elle Studio on the Instagram, and then it'll link you to each of the ladies. They used the photograph details stamp this past weekend as the hop. And then I also had a layout that I did of the cat using that same stamp set as well. Be sure to leave any questions down in the description box down below. Enjoy the close-ups. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you're doing well. Come back again soon. Take care.